please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody. So today I want to take a look at penalty minutes in the NHL, specifically which players and how many could potentially get to the 100 penalty minute mark this season. Before we get into the video, I want to quickly remind everyone to please hit that like button and give the video a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Both of those things greatly help out and are very much appreciated. So 100 penalty minutes used to be a very common thing. Back, you go back 10 years, certainly to 20 years, there were guys a lot of players easily reaching 100 penalty minutes in a season, but over the last few years, definitely the last decade, the NHL has certainly cut down on the physicality, cut down on the fighting, and gone in a much more speed and skill direction. And you just don't see the penalty minute numbers that we used to years ago. And nowadays, it's hard to get to 100 penalty minutes. Not very many players do. And if you look at the statistics, I think 2 years ago, I believe there were 7 players that reached 100 penalty minutes. Last year, I think only 6 players reached 100 penalty minutes. So I want to look at where guys stand this year, as far as the penalty minute totals go, and who might potentially reach that 100 penalty minute threshold this season. So let's get into it, starting with the penalty minute leader so far this season. He certainly will be reaching 100 penalty minutes because he already has it. Evander Kane of the San Jose Sharks. He is at 100 on the dot right now, obviously with still a third of the season remaining. So he's certainly going to be over and probably go over by a decent amount. So Kane, good goal scorer. He's got 19 goals this season. Also a very feisty player, not afraid to drop the gloves, gets involved physically. A power forward type guy. So not always the kind of guy that you would see leading the league in penalty minutes, but this day and age with all the enforcers gone, most of the guys who are just there to fight are all out of the league at this point. So a guy like Kane is your penalty minute leader. Number 2, we have Erik Goodbranson at 93 penalty minutes. He's obviously a big, rugged defenseman for the Anaheim Ducks. He started the season in Pittsburgh, was traded to Anaheim. He's another guy very willing to drop the gloves, will go after guys if he needs to. And, he's just involved physically in just about every game. So, Goodbranson is at 93. He will certainly go over 100 this season. Nazem Kadri is third in the league in penalty minutes, the center for the Colorado Avalanche. He's got 89 penalty minutes already this season. He's fought a little bit more than usual this year, which has certainly added to his penalty minute totals. But he's another guy very easily going to go over 100 with still 2 months left in the season, assuming, barring any injury where he misses a lot of time. But certainly assuming these guys continue playing their normal amount of games, Nazem Kadri is definitely going to go over the 100 penalty minute mark this season. And at number 4, we have Brendan Lemieux of the New York Rangers, who has had some injury issues this season, has only played 37 games, but he has 87 penalty minutes in those 37 games. I mean, Lemieux, as far as young guys go, is one of the tougher young players in the NHL. He's very involved physically, throws big hits, drops the gloves pretty often, and is also, not afraid to get a misconduct thrown in there here or there as well. So Lemieux, a very feisty player, a very physical player. Again, very likely. He's all but guaranteed to go over 100 penalty minutes at this point. And those are the 4 guys right now that I look at and say that they are pretty much guaranteed to go over 100. Kane's already there. Goodbranson's only 7 away. He'll easily get that. Kadri is at 89 and Lemieux's at 87. Those guys need a little over 10 more penalty minutes. That will be easy with 2 months left in the season. Those 4 guys are virtual guarantees. Beyond that, we're going to have to wait and see. at number 5 in the league right now and number 6 both have 73 penalty minutes. Both are from the San Jose Sharks. It's Brendan Dillon and Barclay Goodrow. Both of those guys are physical players. Dillon, obviously rugged, tough defenseman. Goodrow, a forward who's not afraid to throw down physically and drop the gloves from time to time, throw some big hits. Both of those guys are at 73 right now. I think it's likely that they go over 100, but they would need 27 more penalty minutes in, about 30 more games. It's certainly, at the rate that they're getting penalties at this point, it certainly seems like they are going to go over. And number 7 is Tom Wilson. He's at 71 penalty minutes this year. He also has 15 goals and 35 points. So Wilson's made himself a much, much better overall player and scorer and offensive threat, but he still picks up the penalty minutes. Not as much as he used to. Wilson was a guy who used to, be pushing 150 a season. I don't think that's going to happen this year. He's at 71 right now, but with the way that Tom Wilson plays, with his willingness to fight, and certainly you could get a misconduct or two in there throughout the rest of the season, Wilson, I think, is likely to go over the 100 penalty minute mark. So those 7 guys I look at as very, very probable to get to 100 penalty minutes this season. Evander Kane, Eric Goodbranson, Nazem Kadri, Brendan Lemieux. Those 4, I think, are guarantees. Brendan Dillon, Barclay Goodrow, Tom Wilson, I think those 3 are very, very likely to reach the 100 mark as well. Beyond that, we don't really know. It's really, it's going to be a wait-and-see type of thing. Ross Johnston and Nicolas Deslauriers both have 68 penalty minutes right now, but they, are they going to play enough games to reach 100? And that's a big question for Ross Johnston, who He's only played 28 games this year. How much is he going to be in the lineup for the Islanders going forward? He's really a fourth-line fighter. He's got only 4 points on the season. Is he going to be in the lineup going forward? I think he's likely to spend most of the rest of the season as a healthy scratch, as the Islanders are in a tight playoff race in the Metro Division. But maybe he does get there. Nicolas Deslauriers, he's on the Anaheim Ducks. He plays a little bit more. He's a little bit more of a lineup regular than Johnston is. He leads the league in fighting majors right now. He needs another 32 penalty minutes. Put him down for another 2 or 3 fights. That's about 15 penalty minutes right there. Does he get another 15 or more on top of that? We're going to have to wait and see. I think Deslauriers definitely does have a chance to get there, though, with his play style. And then at number 10, we have Zach Kassian. And Zach Kassian has 64 penalty minutes so far this season, also 13 goals and 28 points. Kassian certainly could get there. He needs, almost 40 more penalty minutes, but he could pick up those 40 penalty minutes maybe in the next couple of games against the Calgary Flames, given the potential for what he might do when they play Calgary. Misconducts are always a huge potential, and you gotta remember, misconduct penalties are 10-minute chunks at a time. So if Kassian picks up 2 misconducts the rest of the season, there's another 20 penalty minutes right there. Never mind, add in a couple of fighting majors, and there's another 10. So he very well could do it with the way that he plays and just just the style of player that he is. He very well could do it. But 64 right now is certainly no guarantee, but we'll see what happens in these games against Calgary. And if he goes off in these games against Calgary, maybe picks up 15 minutes along the way, he very well could get there. So those are guys that I really think do have a legitimate shot of 100 penalty minutes this year. After that, we get down to guys who are at 60 right now: Brady Tkachuk, Pat Maroon, some others. And it's certainly possible, but I'm not really expecting them to reach 100. But there are certainly, 4 guys that are virtually guaranteed to get there. 3 more I think are very likely to get there. And then another 3 that I think do have a legitimate shot. So we could be looking at anywhere from 6 or 7 100 penalty minute guys, which has been normal for the past couple of seasons, all the way up to maybe 10 100 penalty minute players this season. So Physicality obviously isn't as high as it used to be in the NHL. I wish it was, but that's just not the direction the game has gone. But there's still the potential for a number of 100 penalty minute guys this season. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys soon.